Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is the final of PogChamps 6. We have got two amazing matchups in the Consolation Bracket and the Championship Bracket. Some actually phenomenal chess, really it was. But was it phenomenal because it was good or phenomenal because it was entertaining? You will have to find out. And with that said, let's get into our first game. It is the Consolation Final. I'm not covering the semi-finals, but you can make out who won. We've got Mongraal, and we've got LydiaViolet. So Mongraal starts in this game. I'll be showing you both games. d4, d5, knight f3, c6, knight c3, f6, which is a mistake because A, you're weakening this diagonal for the king. Your knight should be going there, so it's not really that good a move. Bishop to f4, e5 is a mistake because simply you have pawn takes. LydiaViolet comes up with an interesting idea here. She plays g5. Now, the only real move for white to maintain advantage is to play bishop to g3. Don't go back this way. And then this pawn is still threatening to take. And if you take, we take in the center. The queen can get opened up. The knight's in the center. And it's just better for white. But we have bishop to e3, which now allows g4. You can see it, the blue arrow there. g4, the only move. Simply because if you want to keep your knight protected, you've got to go backwards, and then this pawn can be taken. And then black's actually doing pretty well. But instead, we get queen e7, which shoots up the advantage because simply you can play a whole lot of moves. Most of them involve taking this pawn and taking this pawn and just being up two pawns. But we get bishop d4. And now we get g4, but takes. Very nice intermezzo here, finding the takes, knight takes, and we jump the knight to the center, which is a very bad move. Simply because you have the move c5, which gets found. Don't need to go ifs, ands, buts, maybe. c5 gets found. And when takes, now you can take the bishop and you can take the knight. Both are hanging. Take the bishop. e3, queen c7 attacks the knight. Check. We block with the bishop. Not the best idea. Takes, knight takes. Now, what was the best move here for white? It was to play knight takes g4. You need to win this pawn. This bishop is pinned to the king. You take, you're going to be activating the queen. And you don't have to worry about this because you can take this with check, and then you can take this. But instead, we get bishop takes d7 check, knight takes, and knight takes, hanging the knight in the center of the board. c4, queen takes b2. Black is just cooking here after 16 moves, but queen to e5. We take this pawn. Black is up material, and by material I mean they are up like two pieces, but they're down a lot of pawns, and the king is very exposed. So black has to really hide the king. You're going to have to probably do like a turtle method. King d8 is fine, I suppose. Rook b8, and king c8. Not actually a bad move. Not a horrible move. Rook fc1. a5 is not it, though. a5 is not it, because now you are walking into problems. Most of them revolve around knight b6 check. But we get f4, queen d6 now. Still, knight b6 check. Rook c2, b6. Encouraging. Knight takes b6. e4. Rook a6. Excuse me. Now, black is completely winning. They've consolidated well. e5, queen h6, f5. Actually, white's done a pretty good job. Like, it's looked very stupid, just pushing these pawns. But actually, you're getting them rolling. And they might not stop. You've got nothing except pieces to get in the way. Except you to hang one. Queen e4, knight e6, check, king slides over here, and now you have to take this. You have to play bishop takes c5. It's the only move to keep lots of advantage for black. Black is still winning, but bishop takes c5 check, you win the queen. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You win the queen. Instead, we get king a7, and now it's a draw. It's a draw. Most of the draw revolves around king to h1. Taking here is King A8. Yeah, it's better for black. So, as natural as it looks, no good. But he gets played. C takes B6. King B7 now. And now, very important move here. F6. You can see blue arrows all over the board. None of them are getting played. And black hangs their queen in one move. And we take it. It hung it two ways, by the way, because the queen could have also taken it. Now the bishop comes in with the pin. We sack. We take the queen. Rook here. Hanging the rook two different ways. Hanging this rook two different ways. And now black is completely winning. Takes. Rook takes. Takes the knight. Push. Rook E8. And it gets missed. Ladies and gentlemen, you just take this and you queen. And white wins. Like, this game is unbelievable. Both sides are trying to lose in the most spectacular fashion. G4. Rook D8. Why? You did everything so you could go here. You hung your rook so you could go here and stop the queen. Yeah. Oh, G5. We don't want a queen. 97. We still don't want a queen. H4. A4. H5. A3. G6. Rook A5. Uh-oh. G takes H7. Rook takes H5. Queen takes. Knight here. Gets pinned. Triple pinned. Now we sack the rook. And here LydiaViolet loses on time. Because I still expected this game, after the rook just obliterated everything, I still expect black to win this somehow. Like, black will, go fork this rook, go take this pawn. Like, Anyway, so LydiaViolet down 1-0. Let's go to game 2. She has to bounce back. She's got the white pieces. E4, D5, Scandinavian, F3. F3 is no good. Okay, but we're not going to reflect on that. Knight F6, D4, Knight C6. LydiaViolet likes to build this like a little pyramid. I've noticed this in her games. She really likes to build this pyramid with all the pawns. So, yeah, C3. She really likes this. This is what she knows. D takes, and now knight takes E4. Queen E2, though. We defend the knight. H3. I don't know what that does. E6. G4. Bishop G6. H4. Knight fork. We hang the queen. I don't really need to show you the rest of the game. She hung her queen. If you think she's going to rescue this game, you have got to surely be mistaken. Surely she can't rescue it. She's doing a good job. She's charging down all the pieces. She wins a piece back for free. Her rooks are activating. She doesn't... Oh. She hung mate. 24 moves. Mongraal is the winner of the Consolation Bracket, but well played to both players for getting this far. But you are here for Ebere Eze versus Sapnap. Sapnap, who destroyed Wolfie VGC in a playoff. They had to play 3 games. Ebere Eze got past his semi-final opponent quite comfortably in the end. So, Eze's got the white pieces first. Knight F3. He really likes the ready. D5. D3. This is what he played. Knight, yeah. This Fianchetto, like King's, I believe this is not the King's Indian. I don't know. I can't remember what this is called. Like the King's Attack or something, whatever. It's called something attack. And he liked to play this setup, and it's worked really well for him. This is where you've got a player who wins a pawn in the center of the board, takes a knight. Not crazy about opening, G-file stuff for you, but, White's okay. White's doing alright. We trade the bishops, or not. Still don't trade the bishops. Knight jumps forward, king moves over, queen c8. And, they've done nothing wrong, these players. Nothing wrong up until really here, which is rook fc1. Which is losing because you have bishop takes g2, king takes, and what you have here is the spectacular this. You have this. What you also have is rook de8. Hitting the queen, hitting the pawn, and then you have this. So now we get, let's say, something like queen d4. Protecting against this threat, although not really. Now you have knight f4 check. King h1, and knight takes e2. So black wins a pawn and starts a really devastating attack on the king. But that doesn't get seen. We get h4, which is still knocking on the door. And this is why I said so long ago that opening this g-file for the rook was probably a bad idea. But we take. Queen takes, And now we take the bishop. And really unfortunate here, you take with the pawn, you maintain defense of the bishop. So very unfortunate from Sapnap. He forgets his queen was defending the bishop, and now we get a free bishop. And Eze just, took free pieces. Also, what I don't understand is why you wouldn't bring the bishop back. Why would you defend with your king? I mean, it's fine. It's the second line of the engine, but that's because the first line of the engine is to play bishop to g2. I mean, this is winning. He gets his rooks up. He hits the queen a couple of times and takes a free queen. Yeah, Sapnap had a really rough game and hangs his queen after hanging a bishop. We trade the rooks. And a really proficient game by Ebere Eze, who goes on to win this game. He was winning on the board, but Sapnap loses on time. And finally, will Sapnap bounce back? Will he bounce back? e4, d6, bishop c4, knight to f6. And we get this. Just quickly, that pawn is freely hanging in the board. Eze, the board's hanging, but he liked the setup. Like, he played it with white and he played it with black. The same setup. And it's worked really well for him. Maybe this is the new meta of what we've got to play in chess. Although, funny story, another rook move as a blunder. This time it's for white again, and that's because you can trap the bishop. And he finds it. We jump the knight out, and the knight wanders into the forest. It gets here, and Eze doesn't take this bishop, because it's not going anywhere. It's still trapped. We jump the knight forward. Bishop h8 is a strange move. And now the queen slides forward. Here you should play takes. Here you should play takes, because the bishop can now escape. The queen's moved. He goes to continue the danger levels, but unfortunately, knight takes e7 is check. And he doesn't end up winning the piece. So he waited too long. And now knight g7. And white's actually very, very well placed here. Because you've got bishop to c3, which is not the most accurate move. But rook fd8 makes things worse. And now you've got some lovely tactics here. You can see this is the move that gives the most advantage. Why? Because when here, I'm pretty sure, yeah, queen takes d8. Because whatever you take with, you take again. And then you win the queen. King over, and you queen. And white wins. So, bishop takes e5 would have been the killer blow. But we don't get that. Queen instead to h3. Very well defended there, but now we get the bishop moving over. It gets kicked. That dark squared bishop for white has been kicked everywhere. Eze now really bleeding. Sapnap is controlling this game. It is a lovely game for Sapnap. Also, this looks like a free bishop, because 100% is, and yet the evaluation is still better for white. This king is not safe. These pawns are a real problem. So you can hang a whole bishop. Okay, also, if here. Anyway. So you can go for two pieces against the rook. We don't get that, but we do get all of this. I'm not going through it because we need to get to some really heartbreaking moments. Sapnap has played perfect game here. He really has. We trade everything into this endgame, which is better for white. It is really, really winning for white. Queen f6, and here we get check, and the rook here, and it looks like Eze has turned the tide. What happened here? It's winning, but you need to be accurate because your king is not safe. He really struggles to get out. So if black can coordinate the pieces and get down to the back rank and onto the second rank, you're in trouble. And unfortunately, rook f5 is no good because you've got queen d4 check, and now you've got the incredible move rook b6. And you are now coming for the white king, and your queen is locked in jail. It could get out when the rook wasn't there. So we go here, and it's mate in 2 for Ebere Eze. Ebere Eze has got mate in 2 on the board. Rook b1 check. It's mate in 1. Queen e3. And he finds it. And he wins. What can you say? Fantastic from Ebere Eze. A move he found in the semifinals was really good. You need to go watch that second semifinal game he had. This was incredible. He was lost for most of this game. If we go back all the way over here, when the bishop got out the way, this was the real turning point. White just turned on the jet, missed the tactic, but still was better. This whole time was better, was creating a devastating attack on the black king. Tactics all over the place, rook f8, and all of this stuff, eventually trading into what should have been an easily winning endgame right here. What should have been a winning endgame. Just by the way, you've got queen c3 check. Get your queen out in trouble. If this move was found, this one time you find the top engine move, and we get something like king g8, and you simply play here f3, which might not be a great move, but it's good enough. You will have permanent pressure on this black king. And Sapnap may have gone on to win this game. So just getting the queen out of danger, if it could get into play, would have been brilliant. Instead, what we got, after rook takes a6, we had rook d8 check, immediately giving a check, and still here. You know, queen d3, queen c3, queen b3. Any of these moves are good enough. But instead, we got here f3, sealing the queen away. You can see the advantage already dwindle. Queen f6, threatening various infiltrations along against the king. And here, rook d7 check is fine. Rook d1 to get to the back rank, because the queen struggles to get out. Here, trading the queens is probably no good. Yeah, it's no good, because queen takes d8, your rook is hanging, you have to move it. So, check, and now, rook d8, rook d5, a4. Rook d5 is fine, king g7. Here, queen f5 is fine. Takes, winning for white. You have got 2 passed pawns, 3 passed pawns. Completely winning for white. Ebere Eze, the Crystal Palace footballer, an English international footballer, wins PogChamps 6 after a devastating mate in 2 blunder. Incredible stuff from Ebere Eze. He has been phenomenal throughout this tournament using his system. I don't know who taught it to him. I really don't. But he has been fantastic. And that is PogChamps 6, ladies and gentlemen. That is PogChamps 6.